Nice.
Nice.
That's a lung clearer right there.
Yeah. Wonder if people ever get annoyed with our intro.
Probably.
Probably.
That's okay.
That's all right.
It's all right. We ain't here for a long time. We're just here for a good time.
That's the case.
Yeah. No
Just
TM.
no TM on that one. Sorry, guys.
No, sorry. Can't really put that one on a t-shirt. That'll get me in trouble.
Nope, you cannot. One of these days I'll figure out my camera. Until then, you guys are gonna have to deal with it.
Hey, fair enough.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It really has.
It really has this time, guys.
Yeah. Sometimes we say that and it's only been like a week. This time it's been a while.
Mm-hmm. I spit out my gum.
Been since February.
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 Been the birthdays that have come and gone, and
Freaking geezer.
getting old.
Yeah.
I totally forgot to message your mom.
For what?
I don't know. I think something happened yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Is that a real or?
No, I messaged her.
Okay.
Even called her.
I was like, dude, you're on fire.
Oh.
That's ew.
No, another year older. I had to let her know it.
Yeah. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
But
Oh, this chair, okay. It's got one of them levers, you pull it and it can go up or down. Except this one's broke because I'm not pulling on the lever. Anyways, you pull on the lever and you can feel the thing like jabbing up into you.
That's not good.
No. You best be careful what you're wearing when you mess with that.
Shoot. Oh, spring's here, guys.
Spring is here. Application season is here.
Application season is here. It's
Tax season is here.
Tax season is almost over, dude.
Dude, don't even stress about it. Don't even stress me out about it.
Have you done them before?
Good question. Technically, yes.
It's not that hard.
No, especially because I just have one employer, so.
Yeah, you just reuse everything. It's pretty easy. Personal taxes are easy.
Yeah, it's just this is my first one filing with Riley.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be crazy.
They're super easy when you make your spouse, or not make, but have your spouse do it.
Mm-hmm. Took Hannah all of 15 minutes this year.
Same. I can say I've never done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we actually have a good buddy that's in his last semester of college. He's just doing an internship, but he's going to be an accountant.
Oh,
I might just have him over and be like, "Hey, give me some money back."
Yeah.
He might help you out a little bit more, but in the
end, you know what helps with that? Start
kids.
Popping out them chitlins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, dude. So I get no state return in Wyoming. And that's the majority of the return I got when I was in Colorado. Was the state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess we have no state tax, so it evens itself out in the long run, but yeah, without Everly out, we're only getting back a couple hundred.
Ooh.
Yeah, when we're off air, I'll have to tell you more about that.
Yeah.
But get to
Off
it.
air. Number 1. Talk about babies.
Check.
Check. Oh. But no, it's getting warmer, and then it's supposed to snow tomorrow.
Yeah, I was seeing we were supposed to get some on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, ours is supposed to hit Thursday night into Friday. And it's
Well,
supposed to be snow.
Let's hope it doesn't. But no, Riley's family's coming up here this weekend.
Oh, heck yeah.
Ooh. Those are rough roads to be driving.
Mm-hmm.
I hate I-80. Like, I thought I-70 was bad. It's nothing compared to I-80. I hate it. But yeah, application season's up. New Mexico's still live. Yeah, New Mexico's still live.
Yeah.
Colorado's still live. Utah, I don't know if Utah's live or not. I think it's live.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's opened yet. I know it closes later, but
I was in Logan this last couple of days. They have a lot of turkeys there. I thought I wasn't going to miss turkey hunting, but I saw those birds. I'm like, huh, there's public right there. Is it worth $200? I don't know. I guess we'll see.
yes.
$200 turkey.
That's what it costs. I did talk to Carter the other day. He's thinking we need to do a turkey tour down there, in our spot where I shot my Rio. Get a group of us down there, go kill a bunch of birds.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everyone has their own lives, and you have to provide for families and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We keep talking about all of this group hunting we should do, and we never do it.
We never do it. That's the cold hard truth.
I know.
It's just one of those things that has to be made to happen. But so, speaking of, I want to do a shed trip here next couple months, 2 or 3.
Yeah, same.
But logistically, it sucks.
Oh, dude, yeah, I saw Bronson Talon sending that stuff to the H&H chat.
Oh, fetch those guys, dude. That was awesome.
Right. So, backstory on that, because I do have a backstory on that. My parents were here when that happened, so they called it. Anyway, so they went and shed hunted till dark, right? Found all those cool sheds, found that deadhead on private property, guys. Any of you shed Nazis listening? It was on private property, okay? And that the whole point of the story. They talked to this landowner, and he hits golf balls off of his porch. And he said, yeah, if you could collect a couple of those, that'd be good. Or maybe he didn't even mention something. But anyway, they grabbed 20, 30 golf balls while they were out, took them back to him, and he was all sorts of happy with them. So I think they've got a shed spot for as long as they want it.
Dude, sick.
They may even have a deer spot if they really wanted it. Let's talk about tags that have been going up and down, up and down. That particular unit right now, it's very easy to draw.
And it's kind of crazy how many connections those two boys have.
Well,
they could hunt pretty much anywhere from Crawford to Delta if they wanted to.
Yeah, they could. But maybe one of these days I'll figure it out. Well, it starts with when they were 5 and 8 or 5, when they were really young, they were going door to door selling old rotten carrots. Like, they weren't afraid of nothing. They're selling unedible carrots. And they brought
back
home money.
with like $20 to $40. It wasn't a small amount of money. They came back with some good money. Parents were like,
Yeah.
"What in the world?" And a full bucket of carrots.
And a full bucket of carrots. Yeah, they didn't sell any carrots, but they did come back with money. So, I mean, that's just who they are. They are go-getters. But I don't know why I tried to change the system. Don't change what works. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do some cussing and discussing and figure out a possible time to go pick up some bones.
I agree. Instagram is the devil.
In fact,
Because I've been seeing all these reels or all these things about these brown elk sheds on the ground. And it's the big ones this time of year, you know. I'm just like, then I go and look at elk right now and they're still all carrying. Dang it.
Dang it.
Maybe it is a little bit early. But I don't know. I went down to Arizona in the first week of April and everything was dropped.
well, I know my old boss, his nephew, goes in Arizona. He went just last week. He did pretty good on
For brown.
browns.
Really?
Dang.
Yep.
Huh. Well, I might have to quit my job and we'll go shed hunting.
Yeah, unemployed life's not bad.
I'm yeah. I'm debating it.
I've been doing better financially the last year and some months than I did my whole marriage
Yeah.
and before that.
Yeah. It's crazy. But
Hashtag America,
America.
where you can do nothing and still be something.
TM.
TM.
Oh no, I did go stretch my legs out a weekend ago, 2 weekends ago. That was pretty fun.
Heck yeah.
Did one little strip of a ridge, probably 500 yards worth of a ridge. Came back with 3 antlers.
Hey,
So
There
yeah,
you go.
heck yeah.
took the wife and the kiddo out, and I told the wife, you know what? When we need to be done, we'll be done. And the mud was caking to our boots, and we were slipping more than we were gaining, and so that's what we got. And I was like, okay, that's a win.
That's the
Heck
win.
yeah.
Oh, Everly. Sorry, that's habit. She goes, hi, Dada. But, no, dad life's the best. In case you guys didn't know that.
Fact. Until you have a boy and then you start questioning everything you do.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Shoot.
Yeah.
No, it's been a fun year. I hit the ice finally for the first time in March.
Oh, shoot. We have no ice anywhere.
No,
Our ice
no, and
fishing's
that,
done.
dude, I went through. It was 3 feet of ice. I buried the auger,
What the heck?
but we were at like 9,000 feet. So it was one of those at the base of the mountain. And yeah, it was.
See, I live at like over 8,000 feet,
Mm-hmm.
like closer to 9. And dude, you would think it's the middle of the freaking summer right now. You go up even to those higher lakes that are 10, 11,000, they're
Mhm.
dry. Not dry, but there's no ice.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, these ones, it was frozen solid. And like I said, 3 foot of ice. And I mean, there's maybe 8 inches of just like iffy slush, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, pulled out a decent 12-incher, 13-incher, 14-incher, somewhere in there.
Dude, freak yeah.
So had another one on the line. But if I would have known I really want to figure out this lake because I guess there's like mondos in there, like 30 inches
Ooh.
trout. So I'm like, and my father-in-law was fishing with this jig that was like this big. I'm like, what are you trying to catch in here? Freaking halibut? Like, what are you catching? And he had nibbles and everything. I'm like, okay.
Gee.
But then I was looking into it and I actually pulled up some YouTube videos of this lake. And I'm like, holy crap, this is a known lake for that. There's some big stinking fish in here.
Dang.
But the thing about catching big fish is you catch 1 or 2 fish in the day, which I guess that's all I caught. So that would have been better. But like one of the kids of our group caught a kokanee. I think it was a kokanee.
Probably.
So very, I mean, I guess all salmon's pretty red, but it was pretty cool. We had that for dinner.
Freak yeah.
I know it's a cool lake. I want to get back at it and really figure out the big fish game. We'll see. I probably won't be back out, but even the Burbot Lake that I want to hit, that's a big lake. It was still frozen pretty solid and has like 2 foot of ice. So I may hit it this weekend.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
So come on up.
I'm on my way.
Yeah. No, I have access to everything I need, really, except a tent. But I don't need a tent.
I got access to that.
Shoot, full send, bro.
Look at this, dude. We complete each other.
We complete each other. Let's go catch some
Together.
burbot.
Together, we have a whole ice fishing setup.
Yeah, dude. Those setups are expensive. Like if you were to go ground up for starting with nothing, you're looking at $2,000 if you wanted to get a tent, sled. I mean everything.
Tell you what, dude. Facebook Market.
That's what I'm looking at right now. I want a fish finder. I want my own fish finder.
I think we're only a couple $100 into everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm only, if that. I got most of my poles on sale. I got like 3 poles for under $50.
Oh yeah, I don't think all 3 of mine were over.
So,
you could combine the price, all 3 of mine, it wouldn't be $50.
Yeah, I think so too. I did buy a bigger one. I did buy a good like name brand, I guess.
Yep.
That I want for big stuff, but it'll pull in the Laker if I wanted it to.
Oh yeah, I got a nice big ugly stick.
I like my ugly stick.
It's meant for big fish.
Yeah. I was fishing with that little, and it was a little one. It has like almost a monofilament tip on it, like it's that thin.
Yeah.
It's actually just right over there, but it's like a really thin tip on it. And I mean, I was jigging, and it was, and when that fish hit, it just like all the way bent over. It was awesome. I was like, "Ooh, I really wonder what would happen if I caught a big fish on this thing." But I was jigging with 2 because I can do that here. I was jigging with 2, and so one with my ugly stick, and the only one I had bites on was the other one. But
heck yeah!
But yeah, it was just one of the best pole bends I've ever had. It looked like I had a giant on. I threw a 3/8 ounce lure down there, and just jigging it made. I mean, I had my drag set low in case it started running with it, you know. And I was just jigging with it, and even just jigging with it. When I would reel up, I just, and all the guys would look, "Did you catch one?" No, just jigging. Tighten that drag a little bit. But ice fishing is so addicting. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Like, I guess lake fishing just gets frustrating because it always comes in, you know, and always, like, you just can't keep the bobber out there or the line out. And lure fishing is frustrating. And I like fly fishing.
I think half the fun of it is the fact that if you're in like 0-degree weather, but if you're in the tent, you've got You're in your t-shirt, just
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of guys hanging out.
Yeah, if we were drinkers, that'd be the place to do it.
Oh yeah. You got to pull your 12-pack in and out of the tent to make sure it doesn't keep freezing.
Yeah. No, it's a blast. But made me realize, why did I wait so long this year? Because like you said, ice everywhere down here, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's not fishable. I mean, I was looking at the
No.
river today. I'm like, ooh, the river actually looks pretty good right now.
Yeah.
And I was
I
looking
think
up at the hills. I'm like, ooh, there's shits in them hills. It's starting to get bare and everything. And this time of year, I can't stay. I got 300 things to do on the weekend if I wanted to, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, you just hop across the border and bam, you're legal.
Yeah.
Like little Mexicans.
What is the rule in Idaho for
All
shed
right.
hunting?
So my brother-in-law wants to go shed hunting, and he asked me about things, and I sent him like an essay. And I should have him. Other than he works, we'd have to do it on a Friday because he works 4/10s. I should have him on the podcast and ask questions and see if we can answer them because we are knowledgeable enough to help out a beginner. I would say. But no, he was like, "What's the basic of shed hunting?" I'm like, dude, it's as basic as you go find some place to walk and just walk, or it's as complicated as you find the right elevation band, you find the right pocket, you try to pick this all out beforehand, and then you go out. And it usually still doesn't work very well. But yeah, I sent him all that. But as a resident, you don't have to have a hunting license. As a non-resident,
Gotcha.
you have to have a hunting license. So that's where it would screw you if you wanted to claim residency in Idaho. Is because of that thing, and you may be able to get around it by claim, by there may be a student loophole, maybe.
Like a clause or something.
Because I know a lot of other places have a student clause for something. But
I can tell you this. If you're planning on being in Idaho for a few years, you'd be dumb not to get residency.
Yeah. The only reason that I would hesitate,
crazy.
The only reason I would hesitate is because of how many points I have in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to burn those before I switch.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
So we gotta burn at least one of those this year. You gotta think about what you want. And our dad's gonna do his hunt, so his limited entry, I think. So that kind of puts out that time frame, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But you just got to do what's best for you, and we got to figure it out. So because you're gonna want people for whatever hunt you choose.
Yeah.
But if I were you, I'd do antelope.
Yeah.
We can maybe do just a sit down. That's not live, or maybe do it live. I don't know. It's very iffy because I don't ever want to give away units because someone's gonna find out. Granted, people I know where I hunt.
Yeah.
That's where it is. But Flores, our old wrestling coach, he knows where I hunt. That's not gonna change anything.
Right.
Whoa.
Dude, you just did a little swoosh swap.
Go back.
What the heck?
My screen dies. My screen dies in the middle of these sometimes. So I was wiggling it and I was clicking. I must have grabbed because I can move you guys around all I want.
What the heck?
Tell me this: who's in the center for you guys?
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was just mine or if
Yeah,
everyone's
because
just the same or
sometimes
different.
sometimes it's different.
Because I know, like, I mean, this was with our old format, but I know there'd be times like when we were like in the squares, all 4 or 5 of us,
Hmm.
and I'd be looking at Jared up over here, but
Yeah.
then like I'd look at Colton, who's like looking at Jared, and he'd be looking like down here, and I was like,
Yeah.
we're not all in the same places.
No, I did not like
And
that
then,
that thing
and
at all.
then when you would post it and I'd watch it, I was in a completely different spot than I was on my screen.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Huh. Nope. This can just, I can just drag. It's just like dragging a window.
Wow. I love that. I don't know why I love that so much, but
Whoa.
Oh,
whoa.
that was just
Now it's just me. Wow.
I'm
wow.
learning all sorts of cool things.
We just lost 3 followers. Oh, now we got them back.
Dude, now you can see all my shoes.
Hey, those are my shoes. No, they're
What?
not. You don't even fit in my shoes.
I'm
No,
not
dude,
even
I
in
actually
my
have
house.
smaller feet than even Talon
I'm
at
not
this
even
point.
in my house. Dude, Talon has huge feet.
Yeah.
You'd never guess. What size do you think Talon wears?
10. No way.
Yeah.
He's just a
106
little
pounds.
guy.
105 pounds right now is what he's wrestling.
What grade is he in?
He's gonna wrestle 100 at region.
Is he? He's
Yeah.
gonna drop?
Which pretty much puts him away from any sort of competition,
Benson's
at least
there.
in the region. Who's Benson?
Benson's the kid that we demolished. The returning state champ that we demolished the first match of the year.
No, he's gonna be at like 95s or
He's
90s
dropping.
even.
He's running from us. Those Gunnison kids do not want to wrestle him.
No, they've dropped. Their team has dropped out of 3 different tournaments / duels to not wrestle him in Eben.
Yeah, I was about to say between him and Eben, they don't want to wrestle. Stinking Gunnison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's the funny thing is, and I guess I kind of wanted to present this question to you guys too, because Talon hit me with the one of just, how do I just focus on my goal? And I paraphrase it like that because I mean for him it's more like how do I not choke pretty much? Like how do I stop being so nervous about the final result and just kind of go out there and do what I need to do? And like that's one that I mean, I know like I still struggle with that. Like just because I won state didn't mean that I didn't struggle with that. Like my semifinals match was so much closer than it needed to be because I feel like I just was so worried about winning state that my semifinals match was just
We
a
were
step
more
to
worried
get there.
about that semifinals match than anything.
That's true, but in my head it was still like I have to win this to win state.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that was clouding it a little bit. Like I need to get past this match. Like I don't need to not that I need to wrestle and just do my best this match, but I need to get past this match. Like I can't lose. Sort of mentality. But I don't know if you guys had any sort of insight to that.
You can't. That's the short answer is you can't necessarily overcome that sometimes. Some people just can't overcome that. That's just who. Like for me, when we went out on that bear hunt last year, you know, that was a big step for me doing an overnighter.
Mhm.
I still hated it. I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep a wink. Like I watched 5 movies all night. I didn't sleep a wink, and it wasn't because I was cold. It's just I don't know what it was,
Mhm.
and I don't know if I'll ever get over that initial fear of doing that, of going out and just sending it. But I want to. One way or the other. We're going to do one this year.
Mhm.
You know, whether it's a shed hunt, whether it's a elk hunt, whether it's, any of the hunts that I'm going to do with you guys are going to be, not going to be, but are going to have the option of going in for a day or two and then coming out. And maybe I can overcome that, but I'm not expecting to. What I am expecting to do is getting more comfortable with it.
So, real quick, just because I think I misunderstood at first, you're talking more so about overnighters, like in the
Yes.
back.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I thought you were meaning just solo camp, like.
Oh, solo is another hard one for me. That was, but I can do that now. It's still uncomfortable. Okay. But
I'm on the same page now. Wave.
Sorry.
We're there. No,
you're
good.
Gritty style. The gritty style.
You're good. So, I guarantee everyone else knows what you're talking about. I'm just slower than most, but I caught up.
But for me, it's just I'll be uncomfortable. And maybe I will get to a point where I can overcome that, but I'm not expecting to. What I am expecting to do is I am expecting to improve my mentality in that area. And I guess that's the point I'm trying to make, is I'm expecting to improve my mentality by doing. But I mentioned it last podcast. I think it was last podcast. In order to be great at something, you got to be good. In order to be good, you've got to be okay. In order to be okay, you've got to be crappy. In order to be crappy, you've got to try. So you've got to put in that effort to try. And when it comes to specifically wrestling for me, or for sports, or for hunting, or for anything, that mentality of getting over that hump, of not choking, of being able to go to that next ridge and be able to want to go more. It's just something you got to work on. And each person's going to be different. So for me, it was completely different than it was for Tracer. And shoot, Caden went out and just killed it this year in the backcountry. He had a heck of a time back there. So, but before this year, you haven't had much time doing that kind of stuff, did you?
Not a lot.
And that's just my example. That's something that I want to do, that I've been uncomfortable with doing. That because of where I live and the opportunities I have in the state I live in, I really want to get more comfortable with that situation. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to try.
So, just kind of going along the same lines, like, I mean, so talking about backpacking trips, okay? I had to put myself in an uncomfortable situation that I knew I could be okay with. So, like going out for 3 days, 13 miles in, like I knew I could do that. I knew it wouldn't be easy. All right. And I mean, there's times it wasn't. Like I had to pack super light. I had to figure out, I got a lot of like sugar problems. So I had to figure out how to stay up on my sugar intake, but not bombard everything and still have decent enough food to give me energy, and so on and so forth. So that was something I was kind of stressing about. But dude, I did it. And I'm telling you what, now I since then I've had a huge desire to do like a 7-day backpack trip now. Like I'm like, okay, I did that. I can do that. I have a better understanding of what that is than what, like when I thought of a backpacking trip, it was different in my head than what it actually was. Not completely, but enough that it was a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, okay, I can take what I've learned here and start to apply it to this goal I have now of wanting to do a week-long trip where I'm not coming out to my vehicle or to a base camp or whatever, where I'm just doing it gritty style the whole time. So like I would just say, like, again, this is not gospel. This is, my opinion. Take it for the grain of salt it's worth. But I'd say you just gotta take those steps. You have to be uncomfortable. Comfort is not growth. When you get to a comfortable place, that's when you know you need to start doing something different. Because then growth will come when you're uncomfortable.
Growth does not come when you're stagnant.
Yep. If that even semi answers the question you had.
I mean, it definitely does. I mean, pretty much the advice that I was giving him is just, just focus on one thing at a time. You can't control if you're going to win state. You're in your quarterfinals match, and you shouldn't be thinking about state right now anyways. You still have regionals to get by. And so just focusing one step at a time, because anxiety, it was kind of funny, not funny is the wrong word, but it was kind of fun to learn a little bit more. So my biology professor, he actually wrote a book. It's called, what is it called? The Biology of Choice. And just kind of explaining a lot of parts of your brain and like how it works, as far as like why do you make certain decisions, and like why do you like become addicted to things, why do you have anxiety, why do you have depression. And it's one that I'm probably going to end up reading because it's also the extra credit opportunity in his class. But part of what he was saying is just, I mean, just simply like anxiety is worrying about something in the future. Like it's being scared of something that could happen in the future. And then depression is being scared about the result of something that's already happened that you can't change. And I just thought that was super interesting because of his word choice. Like the word choice was fear. Like it isn't just being nervous. Like there's a genuine fear about, okay, what if I don't? Like in Talon's case, I'm positive. Watching him wrestle, I wouldn't be surprised. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if he pins his way through state. Like he is on that level. Like he's on a level that kids that Colton and I knew growing up. There was one that won it 2 times, like was back-to-back state champs in middle school, and then could never make it happen in high school.
You a 3-time finalist.
3-time finalist, but like
no, 2-time. I guess he missed 1 year. He should have been won it the year he had appendicitis, but
anyway. No, he would have, because Trey won it that year.
Mm-hmm. And we demolished him, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, but like I think Talon pins this kid as far as middle school talent goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like Talon is on a different level than I've seen kids that age. Like he knows where his body's at. He knows how to make things happen. We saw that with this last match. This kid from Norwood should win it at 110s because he's 110. He's not.
Oh yeah, no. So it goes by the honor system in middle school now. The weighing in, you weigh in the night before the tournament with your coach at your home, whatever. So and the coach sends it in. So this kid is 100%, 110 pounds by the time he wrestles Talon, if not 115. Like huge.
And the rest in 105s.
Yeah, and Talon's 105, dripping wet right now. I mean, he really has no reason to be there other than it's best for the team. But and no, something that kind of hit me was, so Caden didn't go do this trip willy nilly. He knew about it, and you prepared for it, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't just say, "I'm just gonna sit on the couch and drink Dr. Pepper until the day before, and then go and stretch your legs and realize you're way out of shape."
Oh yeah. I mean, I definitely wasn't in as good a shape as I should have been, but I was in a lot better shape than I could have been.
Mm-hmm. So it's the preparation that we do. It's the uh, like for me, I am very logistically whatever. I like to have my things. Like I don't like to go in the backcountry without something. I always my pack is always overloaded. It's always, but I have everything usually. Um, and so when I think about backpacking, that gives me anxiety because I have to have everything, or else it's going to be miserable, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, I could go 3, 4, 5 days without food. I mean, if I really needed to, I could.
You go 3 weeks.
Well, that's just surviving at that point. But I don't know if you guys watched the Elk 101 series they did, but they did where you only were allowed to bring one meal per person and then one bar per person for 8 days. And then all the rest you had to kill.
Yep.
And that was brutal. Some of those guys lost 20 pounds in 8 days.
Freaking nuts.
But
I know those 3 days I was out, dude, I lost almost 10.
yeah, and you had what you needed at least.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's the preparation that kills me. Is I need to be prepared, and I feel like that's something that Talon has too. Is I need to be all I need to know how I'm going to win, instead of you're never going to know what you're up against until you're up against it.
Yeah.
And you're never going to know if you put a hole in your leg, what's going to happen, you know? Like, that's a, oh crap moment. And you just happen to have what you need to pat yourself up and get yourself out and the deer. But that was my biggest worry during that time. Again, the anxiety of making sure everything happens. But I'll always have that anxiety. It's never going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can do is I can be the most prepared I can be, and then I just go for it. So in wrestling, you practice. In basketball, you practice. You be the most prepared you can be on that court, on that mat, and then you just let the cards fall. So
And would you say that the more times you throw yourself out there and make yourself do it, that it becomes easier the next time?
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we have to realize too, and is just, and that I ended up telling him this. I'm like, dude, you've done hard things. Like, hard things are hard things. You can put a different cover on it, but hard things are hard things. If you can think about it in your mind and think, okay, I'm a good wrestler. Okay, I grew up in the mountains, like doing stuff. It makes sense that I could
I got
survive,
lost.
and I've been lost, and I've found my way back. Like, you know, those different things is, you can be as worried as you want to be about it, but ultimately, like, you are more prepared than you think you are. And so you do just have to do things sometimes. Just push that boundary.
Yeah. I'm thinking, again about like sports. I think the best I ever was for basketball, skill wise, was when I was at college. And, I in high school, I put in a lot more work than I did in college. A lot more effort into it. But the difference between high school and college was one, not only just that I began to understand the sport better and what I needed to do, but the effort I was putting in. So like if I'm talking about like shooting, okay? Like I put in a lot more effort in high school for me shooting a basketball than I did in college. But what I did in college was I put in the correct effort. That's not what I'm
Correct
trying to
technique.
say. Yeah, like it didn't matter how much I put into shooting in high school, I was doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so the progress I wanted wasn't showing. So in those 4 years that I was putting in all that effort, you saw very little progress. But then I got to college, and in 3 months, you saw an exponential difference in the way I was shooting, my accuracy, my ability to make it happen. Like all of that was just 100% different because of the way I was doing things. The What did you say? Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
He's saying
The right
he's saying
technique.
technique, but
Go back 1 minute from now and you'll know. Okay, now that you went and did that, we can continue. Okay. No, but like, I mean, you can apply that to everything. Like, okay, you're gonna do a backpack trip 10 miles in for 6-7 days. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can put in as much effort as you want into it, but if you're not correctly preparing for a 10-mile trip in with the hope and want to bring an animal out with you, 10
Mm-hmm.
miles, let alone all the hiking and other crap you're going to do while you're in there, the energy you're using to get in there, the energy you're going to use in the week that you're there. What the heck are you going to do about water? Water is heavy. You're not going to be carrying water in with you. What are you going to do about that? Food can be heavy. What are you going to do about food? Again, you can do dehydrated meals, but if you don't got water planned, the freak are you going to do? Like
Sleeping system.
sleeping.
Like,
Sleeping bags can be heavy. Not
mm-hmm.
not all of them. I mean, if you're prepared correctly,
Exactly.
you're going to be okay.
I'm
But
not going to take my wife's and I's good camping sleeping bags that are huge, -15 comfort sleeping
nope.
bags. Or if I
Instead, you're going to
do,
take a light sleeping bag with an extra pair of thermals. Like
exactly.
like one of those
so,
reflective emergency little bags.
yeah, yeah. Take a little. Wow, the name of it just left me. Anyways, erase that. But so something else that was coming to mind was this was something that I talked about a lot, not just on my mission, but when I was coaching too, was faith.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys say, just kind of briefly? What is faith like?
It's like a little seed. Planted, it will grow.
Yeah,
No, it's my definition is it's belief in something that you can't see,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So,
Something I want to add to
oh
that
yeah,
real quick.
yeah, go for it.
I mean, it's definitely you got to believe in it, but I mean, if you aren't doing anything about your belief, amen.
That's what I was going to get at. Is exactly that. When we would talk about faith, whether it's religiously, whether it's in your own personal life, whatever, it's like faith isn't just a religious thing.
No.
Faith is something you believe in, something you can't see, but it's something that requires action. When we would talk about that, we would talk about like turning on a light. Okay, so if you're sitting in a dark room and you want to turn on the light, you know the light can turn on, right? And you know that when the light turns on, you're going to be able to see everything in the room. Okay, but you can't just sit there and wait for the light to turn on. You can sit there as long as you want. The freaking light's never going to turn on. You have to get up, go over there and flip the switch yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're one of those real fancy people who have it either on your phone or even the clap clap, you still have to clap clap. So faith is that. It's something you believe in, something that you know can happen, that you have to do something about.
Yeah,
So,
and to circle back to not to take away from all this because it was gold, but circle back to Talon and how can I overcome this? That's the answer right there. Having faith that your training is going to do what it needs to do. Having faith that the mat time that you're putting in, you're not going to end up on your back again in the last 30 seconds of a match. And even though you weren't pinned, you got called pinned, you're not going to put yourself in that situation again because you've had that experience. Something else that I was thinking of a while back, but again, to reiterate what you're saying, I think, Caden, is something that we were always told: practice does not make perfect, right? People, I mean, that was always a saying when you were little: practice makes perfect. No, it doesn't. Perfect practice makes perfect.
yep.
So, like you're saying with your basketball, same thing with me. I was not my best wrestler my senior year. I was not. Tracer senior year, that was probably the best I ever was. And it wasn't because of anything other than the stress got like it got released. I didn't have to compete anymore. I made more progress in that first 3 weeks, 4 weeks of practice, my first year coaching, than I ever did wrestling my 4 years. And so it's that I guess that release of not being stressed out about it, of having the faith that your training has done what you need it to do, having the faith that you're capable of more. Like my senior year, I didn't think I was capable of more. And then I went in as coach, like, I've got nothing to lose. I'll try this random stuff. I'll try to take the best people that have proven that they're the best at takedowns. I'll try and go take them down. And just that mentality of, I'll try it. I'll go try this. I'll go try that. It's the action of, yeah. When I was wrestling, it was always, okay, I have faith I can do this, but I think I'm doing everything I can. But it wasn't until after I graduated that I realized I could have done so much more to make myself better. But I'm making Caden cry over there.
Oh, dude, happy tears.
Happy tears.
Oh man. Well, something else I was thinking about just now is like also when you talk about faith, we've also got to understand that faith isn't just believing that something like, okay, I have faith that I will become a state champion because I have faith in my training, I have faith in this, that, and the other. I feel like even the harder part of faith is having the faith to realize that yes, I have done all I can do, but it is okay if it's not enough.
Having the faith to fail.
Because that's where you truly leave your anxiety behind. Like, because I have no doubt in my mind that Talon knows that he's good enough to win. He knows that he's put the time in. He knows that he's a good wrestler.
Well, if you talk to him, I mean, that is his mentality. His outward appearance is like at Bronson State. I beat that kid. I pinned that kid last year, and he's on the podium of 106s.
Yeah.
He's like, I could have won this. I'm like, yeah, he probably could have. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And I think where it gets him is he is so scared to lose. He doesn't have that part of it down where it's like, and I personally love it. Like, I love the mentality of it's not an option to lose. However, if you can learn to get past that without giving up any sort of like giving yourself a disadvantage, right? Like, it's not saying that I'm okay with losing, but it's turning over, like giving up the end result. And I feel like I heard a wrestling coach saying that on a video that I've watched before, where he says, before the match even starts, give up the result. Like, sacrifice the result. It doesn't matter. Just go out there and wrestle. And if you wrestle the way that you're supposed to, the result's probably going to be in your favor. But,
Tom Brands.
yep. And I don't know. There's just something about it.
I know we're
Like,
talking a lot about wrestling and everything, but I mean, it applies to everything. That's just what I know. That's what Tracer knows. Caden knows basketball. He knows. We all know. I mean, we all know hunting. We all know different things, but I feel like we're centered on wrestling and basketball. I mean, wrestling, basketball, everything like that. And I mean, it's a big picture thing. That's just our experiences and what we understand.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I preach sports all the time.
mm-hmm.
I see people that have had sports in their life and people that haven't. And I have seen nothing but good come from sports.
You can tell a difference.
Oh, it's a huge difference. The mentality, holy crap. The mentality of some people. Yeah, I've got stories, but I don't need to share them.
Well, I'm running into that even with some of the tennis kids. It's like, this is, for a lot of them, it's their first time playing a sport, and they're here because some of their buddies said it could be fun, this, that, and the other. But like,
And then they realized that Tracer was their conditioning coach.
yeah.
I got some questions that we don't need to ask them on air.
Yeah, no, but it really is interesting because and I feel like I was super blessed to kind of have the same coaches all through growing up. Because it's so hard as a coach to take a group of kids for like 1 to 2 years and think that you can really make a huge difference. Like, with a couple of them you can, but like, if you want to change the culture of a group of people, you need to be in their lives for longer than a year and two. And that's where I was super blessed having a couple of my coaches. Like, one of them, my wrestling coach, was my coach from the time I could walk until my junior year, and then he stepped out, and I had another coach for 2 years. But then my strength and conditioning coach was also around from the time I was in kindergarten until I graduated. And it's like, just some of the lessons that you learn through sports. It's looking back on, like, high school. Like, yeah, I miss wrestling. I miss competing in that capacity, but I miss growing and being put through the ringer every single day, to where it's like sometimes I have to, like, go out and into the weight room and just push myself extra hard because I feel like I'm getting soft. Like, it, because as hard as things can be in the world, they're really not that hard. And if you aren't pushing yourself in some extra capacity, like, you are going to get soft and you're going to start taking things for granted. But
Yeah. No, I think we've had a lot of very good points made today.
Yes.
I mean, growth. That's it. Growth. That's how things are going to get done. And how that growth happens is completely up to us. The effort we put in, and it's going to be different for every person. I
Yeah.
mean, we may have some things that are similar, but it's not going to be the exact same for me as it would for Tracer, or for Tracer as it would for Colton, or Colton me. Like that's our job, is to figure out what's best for us, figure out how to do those things, and then growing becomes, I don't want to say easier, but more doable
More do that. That's
And more consistent.
and more consistent.
Ooh.
Consistency.
Consistency.
Honey, did we punch that one out yet? I don't remember. I don't think so. It will be out fairly soon.
Yeah.
No, one more thing I wanted to add is we mentioned coaching, and all three of us have now been a coach. High school, or yours is middle school, right, Tracer?
No, it's high school.
It's high school. Okay. So, and as you learn, it's a whole different whatever. Um, but you're talking about having the same coach through life, and how they helped you. But the jump you made from junior to senior year with the new coach, you needed that. You needed that new. Okay, and he knew what you needed. And as a coach, sometimes you just have people that are just there to try. Like you ask them what their goals are, and they have a 500 record, or some of them are just there, and some of them have goals to win. And the people that have goals to win, that have that drive, those are the ones that get the most effort, I think. Um, and I think sometimes people get left that need it more. And I see that hindsight of when I was the head coach. When I was assistant coach, I loved working with people like JD and EG, and just trying to get them because they wanted it. They wanted it, but they didn't have it, but they had the drive to do it. And those are the type of people we need, and did it again. Shoot. And those are the type of people we need, are people that want it so bad, that are doing everything they know how to. They just need a little help. And I keep on seeing that picture behind you, Tracer. I have to bring it full circle there. You have to put in the effort to be the man you want to be. And if you do, our big coach up in the sky, the great spirit, whoever you refer him to, Jesus, he'll pick up the slack, and he'll help us in the areas that we can't help ourselves. But we've got to put in that effort. So,
not only he can, but he does. It's foolproof. One of my favorite sayings is God loves effort. And I mean, you don't have to be perfect. I mean, in anything in life, as long as you're putting forth that effort and doing what you can, like Colton was saying, big coach in the sky is he's gonna give you more attention.
Freak yeah.
and just like that, we're over an hour.
Just like
Heck
that.
yeah.
Thanks for everybody for listening. Sometimes it takes a while to get us rolling, but you know what? I wouldn't change it. So, if you guys have listened this far, you're our heroes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what he said.
Happy late birthday, Aunt Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what he said.
Sorry your son missed it.
Yeah. Yeah, what he said.
Shoot.
Right on, my dudes. Everyone who's listening, go check out our homies. You know who they are. They know who they are. If they don't, then that's too bad.
That's too bad.
But anyways, yeah.
And go do something this weekend. So
Go do something.
get out. The weather's getting better, and all of our audience is realm.
Yeah,
Come-
go do
come fix my
something with your
truck.
life.
So. Oh shoot, that's an off-air conversation too. But anyway, all right, guys, I'll catch you later.
Right
All right.
on. We'll see you.